Air conditioning building maintenance is definitely a bit different than traditional air conditioning maintenance. Going to be covering that a bit in this video and going into the electrical side a bit more as I'm going through a bunch of preventative maintenance and sharing the journey.
Welcome back to Kung Fu Maintenance, where I show you how to make the most likely repairs you'll need to make in your lifetime. If you'd like to get the latest videos, subscribe and then hit the little bell icon right at the subscribe button, and it'll notify you of any new videos when they're released for you.
Moving right along on the next pair of units. We're just kind of doing two at a time together. That seems to be working out good for me. Here's the round unit. I kind of remember this unit. If I remember right, all the wiring is... Actually, I don't remember right. Let me peek down. We can tell that it's got to be in the bottom portion of the wiring. Yeah, I'll make this a little easier. Got two screws here. Through all the preventative maintenance today. Wow, we got a 45.5 and we got a 5. We discharge the capacitor. Capacitor holds a charge in it even after the power is disconnected. And it looks like this one is only using the 45 side. Okay. Just using the 45 side. And we've got different colored wiring. So our common is red, and it looks like our Herm is blue on this one. If you need to, you may want to take a picture before you get too far, just to make sure you're getting everything where it needs to go. So we've got a 45, and try to get under here. That one's off. That one's off. Okay. 45 and a 5. Let's grab our meter. You can see something happened inside there previously. A capacitor exploded or something. I don't see any bulge in the caps. It's kind of the first clue if something's wrong. Here's our testing for 45. .2, so that's good. And our 5. 4.75 now. I mean 4.70. 4.75 would be okay on a 5 microfarad cap. So it's 0.25 for every 5, which earlier I had the 45. I can multiply that times 9 to know that it would be like 2.25 to be weak, something like that. My other one was just a tiny bit weak. This one's just a tiny bit weak. Again, the same thing. It's, you know, I could leave this alone even at 4.70, even though 4.75 is the tolerance. I'm going to change it because I've had there's so many rounds with this unit, and I'm going to be changing it to a 5, but it's a Titan Pro. I have a lot better experience with these so far. So again, traditional AC guys probably going to take a bit different route than I'm taking. They would recommend that to the customer and see if the customer wants to pay for the change in capacitor, and then the customer can make an informed decision. But for me, I'm not charging the customers anything. I'm in building maintenance. It takes a different approach, so be aware of that when you watch my videos. Okay. This electrical tape is just protecting anything from touching the energized terminals. It's not totally necessary if you position this somewhere that they're not going to touch, but okay. Anyway, back to our, here's our hard circuit. One's going to go to common, one's going to go to Herm. There's the Herm. There's the common. That common one's pretty weak. So let's tighten this up a little bit. Just going to squeeze the terminal down a little bit. A weak connection is a place for heat to build up. So we want strong connections. Don't squeeze it down too much though, you'll have a fight getting it on. So this one, common, Herm was blue, and common was red. Nice tight connections. There we go. And then here's our little 5. There we go. Everything's in good. Ground wire is holding it. Not going to move around. It's nice. Very nice. Okay. We're ready for our cover, or we're ready to test it. This one is that one right there. So I can go ahead and hook it up. This one's a little rough there. Looks like the lid is really bent in. There it is. Thing is kind of sticking. I'll put that in there. Alright. Now keep rain out of there. And now we can test it. So I'm holding my insulated portion of my screwdriver, just pushing the contactor in. It's a beautiful sound. Line's nice and cold. Today I'm just focusing on the electrical portion really of the units. Other preventative maintenance you can do is going after the cleaning the coils, which my coils are pretty clean this year, and checking the charge. You should never go low on charge. If you're going low on charge, you get a leak somewhere. It's not like a battery; it never uses the charge up. So I know my units pretty well, and I've worked out most of my leaks. Most common places of leaks are Schrader valves. Next is the evaporator coil. Next would be Schrader access ports or shut-off ports, and then the condenser coil, and then any filter dryers, and then any connections in the plumbing. This one's biting me a little, as they sometimes do. Okay, moving on to the next one. We replaced the 5 capacitor, so putting it in a different box that should help identify that's a bad one. Sometimes I'll scribble on them with a permanent marker, a Sharpie. fan baffles, this one. I kind of remember I've been some rounds with this one. Some screws have been added. Fan baffles holding. That's good. I was thinking of some kind of like a rivet gun or something with washers. There's a different way of anchoring those. Still looking for a better solution for securing the fan baffles. So it can definitely cause you a no cool call. The fan baffle falls into the fan blades. Precisely what we are trying to avoid is any no cool calls. And we're doing that by focusing on the electrical side today. Okay, so capacitor holds a charge even after the power is disconnected. We've discharged the capacitor. It's also a good idea to look at the condition of that connection was a little weak. We'll tighten that up. It's also a good idea to look at the condition of your contactors. That was a little weak too. Okay, so even if nothing else, we're tightening up connections. This is just going to make things more electrically sound and less likely to cause us trouble. Okay, checking the 5 fan capacitor. 4.01, that's weak. So we're going to be changing that. Okay. And for our capacitor, which should be at 35. I've definitely gone many rounds with this unit. 3.8. That's not right. This one I almost just want to change it to a Titan Pro regardless. Yeah, 3.8 is bad. So we've caught it in time. That's good. So I kind of, like I was saying, I wanted to change this one anyway. So I'm going to loosen it up back there. So I'm glad. This one has dogged me many times. And one of my errors in experience has been using the Supco capacitors because that's what was there. Wasn't until later. You can see the bulge on this. It's got pretty much of a bulge. So I'll retest it now that I've got it out. But I can see the bulge in it, which is a safety on the capacitor to keep it from exploding. 3.8, yeah, it's bad. And it was 35. So that's good. Okay, here's our new 35. Again, I'm going with these Titan Pros. Now, part of what, you know, if you have a loose connection, that's going to be a place for heat to build up. So we really want to prevent loose connections. I had a bit of a loose connection on this one and the blue one. So we're going to fix that up right now. Just tightening these down just a little bit. And then I had it on the blue one. Okay. And we've got red. Yellow. You don't want to go too much when you tighten those down or you'll have a real struggle to get it on. But here we go, here's the yellow. And we can really make sure it's good as I've got it out here. Yeah, nice and good. Okay. Nice and good. Here's the blue, common. Nice and tight. And last one is the red common coming from the top of the contactor. Nice and tight as well. Okay, there we go. You can tighten the screw down. Yeah, I'm happy about this. Getting after these. Okay. Now I need a 5. I might need a new cable strap on this one. This one, the cable strap's a little small. Ooh. I don't know if some of these are, what do you call it, reusable. Let's see if I can. Release that a little. Not the easiest thing to do. Probably not worth it. Let's see. Air conditioning can be hard on the feet because you're doing a lot of crouching down and looking in the machine, so sometimes you may want to figure out a way to have something to sit on as you're working on stuff. Not always the easiest. Yeah, I'm probably just going to need to replace that. Hopefully I have one in my bag. Yes, I do. Okay. Okay. Here's our new 5. These are shaped a little different. I actually ordered the wrong size by accident. This is a round capacitor, and most of my units use the oval ones. So I prefer the oval, but you know, it depends I prefer what fits with what I've got. But there we go. Now ready to run the unit. I'll plug the disc in. Cover back on. Really pushing the contactor. Well, we found one that was bad, so it's paying off. You know, that's one less call out. That would likely not work. Possibly, if it did work, it'd be really not good on the circuit breakers. So the capacitor works as kind of a type of resistor that adjusts the pulse pattern of the current or the wave of electricity as it's delivered to the motor. So we want that to be right. There we go. Covers on. That's the other thing, is we can secure all these covers for the rain, and if we've done our preventative maintenance well, it's just less likely that that'll need to be opened. It's all around a good thing. Okay, ready to test this out. Holding the insulated portion of my screwdriver and pushing the contactor in to manually. The fan motor blade's doing okay. That's cool. Everything's good there. All right. So I'm going after the electrical side of things today. Just preventative maintenance, mostly focusing on the capacitors today, and just visually checking everything else. There we go. That one was stubborn. Okay. That's good. That's 6 units down, 6 units to go. One to finish off one roof. A quick search on my YouTube channel of whatever your maintenance needs are. You should find a bunch of different material that'll be helpful to your maintenance needs.
narrow road a little awkwardly 'cause of the burden on his back. There was a wall on either side of him, the name of which was salvation. The road descended up just a little bit, and upon that place there stood a cross, and at the foot of it there was a sepulchre. As a Christian he came up with a cross, his burden it fell from off his back. It tumbled down, down into the sepulchre, and never was it seen anymore. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He has given me respite, sorrow and life by his death.